Buff Nation, what's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a wonderful Friday. Y'all let me know who's watching in the chat, getting those comments. I got some exciting news to get to, and then I'll get to if you guys got any questions, comments, all that. Just let me know in the chat. But I love to see this. I love to see that CU is treating Coach Prime correctly. I love to see this discretionary bonus given. From my understanding, going through this article by Jack Carlough, this wasn't something that was actually contractually stipulated for them to give him, but it goes to show how appreciative the university, the program is for all that he's doing. And again, rebuilding this whole thing from nothing. So I'm going to get into the article, linked in the description as well, and get some more thoughts on it here in just a minute. So let's go ahead and check this out. Loved to see this on here. Let me make sure I'm sharing my screen. And yeah. Hey, appreciate the love, Reverend. Always thankful to have you here in the chat. Thank you so much. Your presence is much appreciated. Headline here from Buffalo's Wire: Deion Sanders collected substantial discretionary bonus last year, per USA Today Sports, Jack Carlough. And this is just coming out now. Fresh off of his first season leading the Colorado Buffaloes football program, head coach Deion Sanders received a substantial discretionary bonus late last year, according to public records obtained by USA Today Sports. The report revealed that Coach Prime collected $250,000 in appreciation of the national recognition he brought CU last season. Sanders' guaranteed salary for his first season at Colorado was $5.5 million. I think it averages out to around 5.8 or 5.9 every year. We'll read this quote here. The employee recognition bonus is a discretionary bonus awarded by athletic director Rick George for the immense impact Coach Prime has made on the football program, the athletic department, and the university in his first season, the university said in a statement this week to USA Today Sports. USA Today reported that former CU Boulder Chancellor Phil DeStefano authorized the bonus pay from form on December 1st. Coach Prime's 5-year contract has several other built-in incentives, incentive-based bonuses, including $150,000 for winning 6 games. We got to get there this year, guys. $200,000 for getting invited to a New Year's Six bowl game. We got to get there, guys. And $750,000 for winning a national championship. We got to get that too. Colorado finished 4-8 in Sanders' first season at the helm. Really short article, to the point, which I appreciate. Shout out to Jack Carlough, USA Today, putting this whole thing together. But I absolutely love to see this. Again, Coach Prime is under contract. One of the things that I've said so much since I started this channel is that I don't want CU to take Coach Prime for granted. What's going on here for granted? This is very special. This is very unique. And I don't think, a lot of us were really hyped for last season, of course, but it was hard for me to, I wasn't coming out here predicting we're going to be on College Game Day and Big Noon multiple times. And we're even going to have College Game Day here when we're not the primetime College Game Day slated game, like all that sorts of stuff. Crazy, or rather that was for Big Noon, but the amount of exposure was bigger than anything I anticipated, and I thought it was going to be pretty exciting, and it totally eclipsed that. And it's great to see that CU recognizes this, and they're giving Coach Prime a bonus that is an appreciation of what he is doing. This is something, again, that I've said so often that I don't even think somebody with an amazing college coaching track record, such as Urban Meyer or Jimbo Fisher, some of these other guys could come in here and do right off the bat. Heck, it's hard for me to even say if Nick Saban came coaching this team last year that we'd see ourselves on Big Noon and College Game Day multiple times throughout the season. I really do think that this is the unique Coach Prime effect, and he has totally earned this bonus. And I This is why I feel like this is such a good fit. I feel like it's such a good fit because there is this recognition from CU that, hey, this is unique. This is, we don't want to come off as we're taking this for granted or anything like that. I think a lot of other programs, and this is what led to CU's demise in the past, was saying people want to come play for the brand, the school brand. We know that that's not true nowadays. You go and play for the coaches, you go and play for the paycheck. It's really what it is. And I just love this. This is why I feel like this can be a long-term thing. There's just too much good vibes, good mojo going on here. Okay? So, I'll get to some of your comments here in just a minute, but just want to sum this up by saying credit to Rick George, credit to the university for doing this when, from my understanding, this wasn't in the contract. They didn't have to do this, but they give this bonus based off of the fact that Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, he more than earned this. So, with that being said, let me get to some of your comments, questions. If you guys got any questions on the team, get to definitely feel free to throw that in the chat. But let's go ahead and get to it. Rudy Wright saying, diehard Prime fan and CU fan, wouldn't mind if he donates that bonus to the NIL fund for some future players. Isn't that right? I'm guessing that there's probably some sort of stipulation keeping coaches from paying players, but you know, I don't know, man. There's people that are better at washing money than me, so that would be great if he'd be able to do that through a certain fund or whatnot. But I think that whether Coach Prime is donating some of this to the program or not, we're seeing the NIL collective grow. We're seeing the donor base continue to grow here. And I think, Chico had Cash Cleveland on recently, and he was talking about even the commercials he, as a walk-on, is being a part of here at CU thanks to Coach Prime. And I think that's one of the things that is a total Coach Prime advantage. I mean, now with Nick Saban gone, who are the other college football coaches getting those sorts of commercials, endorsements? Maybe we might see Lane Kiffin there. By the way, shout out to Lane Kiffin for calling out Paul Feinbaum. Just that he's just terrible at his job. And if Alabama wasn't amazing, he would just be nothing. He is nothing. His takes are terrible. And I love that Lane Kiffin called him out on that to his face. Shout out to Lane Kiffin. Home and home. I would love to have a home and home with Ole Miss here in the future. Ms. Jobs saying Urban Meyer coaching today's players would get hurt. Yeah, there's a lot of different rules and stipulations now, which is pretty interesting. You got to play by a different set of rules now. And yeah, I'm very glad that Urban Meyer is not coaching this program. I think that he kind of fits the normal college football sleazeball type of reputation. And he's not a very charismatic guy. That's one thing I really love about Coach Prime is that he's incredibly charismatic, empathetic, and I think we're going to see an improved football team this year. Perfect. He's perfect for this job. I've been saying it, and it's great to see CU rewarding him and recognizing him that, okay, the results on the field, that they're coming year by year, but they're rewarding him for also the reason that we brought him in, which was the massive pull that he has, unlike anybody else in college football. That is totally true, totally evident now. And again, he deserves this. I would love, it's been a long time since I talked about this, but I would still love for CU to work on that new contract extension with him now. But I'm guessing that Coach Prime, he wants to get to a bowl game. He wants to earn, a few of those bonuses to say the least before he starts negotiating a new contract, because there's a bigger payday for him in store. If we were to lock him up earlier this year, we're from CU's perspective, we're probably able to get him for a better deal than what kind of price he will command after getting to a bowl game or winning a bowl game or getting a college football playoff berth or a Big 12 championship appearance, right? Something like that. So I can understand. This is all speculation from my part, from my end. If he's just wanting to hold off till the success is even higher, right? So I love this. John Davidson coming in here with a good comment here. Says, lesson to the haters and detractors: the more you hate, the more God blesses. I can't wait to see what the team does this year. Yes, 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 yes. Again, I feel like a broken record here, but I'm so excited. I feel like the team, there's more continuity. I feel like they like each other. There's less of a divide. Of course, that's always going to happen after a year and a half of a regime change. Same with the coaches, too. I think we hit on a lot of the coaches, but I think we got, the coaches that needed to move on for the most part have moved on. And we've replaced them, in my opinion, with better qualified, just better coaches. Am I mainly just speaking about the offensive line coach? Yes. But I think Pat Shurmur's going to do a good job too. Robert Livingston's really the biggest wild card. But again, I think that he's a bright mind. And again, when you go over 10 years without getting fired from an NFL team, you must have something going for yourself. You must be pretty competent in some ways to survive multiple regime changes in the NFL, which does not happen. Good coaches get fired all the time. Good coaches don't get retained. They're told to move on. And the fact that Robert Livingston is somebody that has never even had to go through that at the NFL level, I think really speaks to his mind. And of course, he'll have better talent than what Charles Kelly had to work with this past year. But I think we're going to see. I'm not expecting any of the crazy ups and downs that throughout some of the games that we saw last year. And like Shedeur Sanders said, streaming that video game, I saw the clip on Twitter earlier this week where he's talking about how we're going to run the ball this year. Beautiful. Y'all think we can get some I formation, get some more pistol action in here? I hate running from shotgun, y'all. I got to be honest. I hate it. I've always hated it. I hope we can mix up our different run looks. Reverend BJ Nelson saying, Dave, Coach Prime thinks ahead while other people are still behind. He plays chess while others play checkers and tic-tac-toe. Yeah, this is, again, one way that I kind of compared this to last year is like, guys, like it's like a startup, an entrepreneur starting a new business. Like there are some people that have just been in corporate world for so long that, they get threatened or they get really confused or they don't understand a new approach, a new way of doing things, taking some risks, kind of figuring out, just taking things by, trial and error, right? Just figuring out what works, what doesn't. There was going to be hiccups along the way, but you're absolutely right that Coach Prime is a visionary, and I think one thing that I have really appreciated, even when there's been like certain things that I've questioned or not been totally sure about, like is this going to work? Is this not going to? Whatever. He has been somebody that has stuck to his guns. He has ran this program with conviction, and that's really what you need. You need somebody that's leading. And that isn't going to be swayed by the media or random people on YouTube, such as myself, or on Twitter, or anything like that, other outside voices. No, he operates with conviction with how he's wanted to build the program. And I think that's one of his biggest strengths is the conviction that he has, the confidence. And yeah, a lot of these football, old school, old heads, Pat Narduzzi. I love that. Pat Narduzzi coming out last year, criticizing him for how he's handling the portal, and then we go steal his two edges. We go get those guys in the portal. Is that not poetic justice, baby? You're absolutely right. Thinking ahead. And definitely from being or looking at it from CU's perspective, I would rather take an experimental, an entrepreneurial approach, a new approach to doing things than just trying to do the same old when you're already so behind. It's been Coach Prime's vision that has catapulted us into relevancy in college football, despite what Paul Feinbaum might say. I was wondering about this, Miss Jobs, if this live stream was even going to work. But I was out of town for work on Wednesday, and I just couldn't help but thinking, like, man, good thing that I didn't have to fly out and come back on a Friday on today, because that would have been miserable. I had some friends that were traveling. They've had all these flights canceled, and it's just a mess. So hope you guys are surviving the I don't know if it's been a cyber attack or some cybersecurity firm that's down for some reason, probably because they got attacked. Hopefully you're not flying today. Ooh, Mike, I have an exciting announcement that you as a Cornhuskers fan will like. Oh, man. Talking about Shiloh Sanders, man, I don't care about any of that. Whoever's suing a 16-year-old as an adult, man, whatever, Mike. Whatever, Mike. You follow that legal stuff more than I do. But here is the exciting news. I am going to be collaborating with a Nebraska Cornhusker fan on YouTube. He's got over 20,000 subscribers. His name is Connor Hayden of Corn Crazed. Let me show you right here. Corn Crazed. So y'all be sure, if you want to know what's going on with the corn, I'm sure, Mike, you already subscribed. Go check out Corn Crazed. But we're going to be doing a preview show on September 5th of the CU Nebraska matchup this year. Really appreciative of him reaching out to me today. And it's going to be really fun to do that show. And I forget the Nebraska guy that was on my stream maybe like a week or two ago. He was so funny. Hopefully he'll tune in as well. But yeah, guys, like, I've been wondering, hey, is who could be some Nebraska guys that I link up with, do a preview with, and hopefully we'll be able to like multi-stream it to both channels. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And man, I can't wait for the football season. I am so ready. I am so ready to just start talking about what's actually happening on the field. I'm going crazy. It's cool to see the guys playing the video games, but I'm glad you like Connor. I've seen a couple of his videos today. I like his style, so I think we're gonna get along just fine, and I'm sure we'll have some good jokes to throw each other's way. This is what makes college football fun, is this rivalry. But what's up with this, Mike? Why don't we have this rivalry extended more? It's not coming back till 2030, 2031 or something like that. We got to get another home and home in before that. That's just me, though. That's just me. Julian Lewis, I haven't talked about Julian Lewis in a while, but you got to still be feeling good about that. Again, I feel like no news is good news. Auburn's out, and USC, it's been crazy to see all the national media now going after Lincoln Riley as well. I think that I don't know if that really sways Julian Lewis, but I like to see that, hey, Lincoln Riley's not perfect either. And you might actually feel like Colorado's a little bit more stable of a program right now than Lincoln Riley if he's truly on the hot seat this year at USC. Again, USC fans, the donor base, they are very impatient fans. We'll just have to see. But you gotta admit, they did underestimate, or not underestimate, they did underperform last year big time. And you could argue that Colorado was kind of around where they should have been when it came to the amount of talent that they had. Maybe a little bit underachieving. I still felt like we underachieved a little bit last year. You know, there were a handful of games that I feel like we could have won if maybe we just did a few different things differently. But that is life. That is football. You can probably say that for every team, including Jeff Sims-led Nebraska team, right, Mike? Interesting. Mike, even coming around, even the corn is coming around to this. I think Juju will flip someday if Coach stays. I think so. Again, I don't think you see him keep Colorado in the loop if he doesn't believe that Coach Prime is going to be here. And I just want it to happen already. Now, I did think that it probably wouldn't be this week if he were to commit, because everybody's freaking out about the, college football 5. You had the SEC Media Day going on earlier too this week. Now, Big Ten Media Days next week. And I always thought it would be funny for him to just drop this during the Oregon press conference or something like that, I thought that would be funny. But I think next week would probably be a good week because it's before, uh, fall camp opens up, all that. He wants to get this over with and either affirm his commitment to USC or flip to Colorado. I feel like are his two choices before his high school football season starts. And I imagine fall camp for that starts here very shortly too. I think next week is the week to do it. You don't want to do it over a weekend, in my opinion. You want to do it maybe on like Monday or Tuesday of next week. So that way you're talked about all next week. And I think Big Ten Media Day is like the 24th, 5th, and 6th. I think it might be 3 days. Drop it during then. I love all the talk about Colorado, about USC this week during SEC Media Week. I thought that was all really funny. And again, Colorado will be in the headlines next week, just as we were this week with all the video game stuff, which is cool. So, yeah, we want Juju. We want Juju. He knows we want him, and now it's time to just get this thing over with. I mean, again, Guru came out with the announcement. Guru does not miss. Guru does not miss. I appreciate him sending that out. Makes me feel confident. Guys, who do you feel? I've been doing kind of a freshman series right now on just my expectations for the true freshmen this year. We have a small class, but a very interesting one. I think Brandon Davis-Swain's going to get some rotational snaps for us, probably be in a little bit more of a reserve role this year, but who's to say he can't catapult himself up to, the 2 deep. He has that college-ready body already as a true freshman, again, at 260 plus pounds now. Love to see that. I think Jordan Seaton's going to be an upgrade over Jared Christian Lichtenhand this year. He'll probably still have his ups and downs, as really any true freshman does. But I think I put yesterday, that I'm going to set my line at 6 sacks, which is half of what Caden Proctor gave up last year in the SEC. I think we'll be kind of somewhere around that. And if that's his performance as a true freshman, I think he's right on track. And again, the big jump that we normally see with those guys that come in as 5-star tackles is by that sophomore year, that second year in college. I mean, they are a brick wall. They're giving up maybe a sack or two their next year. And that's what I expect for Jordan Seaton. I just want to make sure he knows his assignments, communicating well with Justin Mayers. That's really the big thing for me, but he's definitely looking the part physically, especially for a freshman. So I'm excited about that. One guy that I've kind of seen a lot of volatility into what people's expectations are for him is our running back, Michael Welsh. I haven't talked about him in quite a while. 3-star running back coming out here, early enrollee. So we've gotten to see him quite a bit throughout the spring. Joined by another running back this summer, being Brandon Hood, somebody who was committed to Georgia as a walk-on, but had multiple SEC scholarship offers. He's coming out here, brother of Colton Hood. And both of them could surprise. Right now, I see Augustive and Hayden as being those top running backs. But what's really interesting is that Michael Welsh has that size already to contribute at the Power 4 level as a true freshman. And I think running back is one of the easiest positions to transition to when you're going up a level. I think you see it all the time, not only at the college level, but at the NFL. Undrafted rookies can come and get time. And I think it would be great if Michael Welsh is able to develop into somebody who is trusted as a true freshman. I think the biggest thing that he'll have to earn trust with is pass protection. That's something that Dallin Hayden and Isaiah Augusta both have experience in. But maybe in fall camp, he's able to demonstrate that he can do this in some of the scrimmages, and maybe he gets a longer look week one because we are playing an FCS program rather than playing a program like TCU right off the bat week one. I think it would be really great if Colorado can get a nice lead in the second half. That would be very ideal to where we can get some of our younger guys some more extended playing time to get a better look at what they're able to do their freshman year. That's something that we didn't have the luxury of being able to do last year because, again, we're going into Fort Worth as like 21-point dogs or something like that. It's a different opponent. And Micah Welsh is somebody that I definitely have my eye on. And physically, of course, he looks the part. I've comped him to like a Clinton Portis light. He can do a little bit of everything for you and just has some more experienced running backs ahead of him. But I would love to see Pat Shurmur use all three of those guys, and we'll see about Brandon Hood. Now, I am Water Guy saying don't sleep on Draylon Miller. Draylon. Absolutely. The wide receiver group is something to really keep an eye on. I have no idea how the targets are going to be distributed apart from probably Jalen Wester and Will Shepard and Travis Hunter being those top three guys. Right now I see Omari and Miller in there. Just hit me that Draylon and Omarion got the same last name. But yeah, he's definitely somebody that could play a little bit of like running back, a mismatch type of guy where you kind of a joker, somebody that you can line up in all these different formations. Same with Cam McKell. We'll have to see. But again, I think that if we're able to get a nice little substantial lead against North Dakota State, it would be ideal to get these guys on the field to see what they can do. I think I got a little grilled by some of y'all in the comments a couple weeks ago when I suggested I would love to see the Big 12 have preseason games, like just one. I just want to see what some of these guys can do. Ideally, I would like to see that done in the spring instead of a spring scrimmage. See us actually play another team. And it doesn't have to be full on contact, but I would love to see what these guys can do rather than having to wait. Like, for instance, a guy that I would love to see what he can do in a real game-like situation is Jordan Onavue, a wide receiver that's going into his second year here. Modern day guy, late bloomer at modern day. And that's why I don't feel like he was recruited very highly, but physically, he's got all the tools you would want in a wide receiver. He's tough, physical, can run through guys. And we probably won't see him unless we're playing in a lot of blowouts this year, which in our favor, right? Which would be ideal. But I would love to see the Big 12 just say, screw it, man. We're going to do a preseason game the second week of August. Okay, that gives you a month to get ready for the college football season, or a little over a month. Mike, I appreciate the $10 super chat. You are the kindest Cornhusker fan out there. Thank you for making my Friday. And you also like Dallin Hayden. Yes, I think he's going to be our starting running back. And I don't really take much stock in video game ratings, but I've seen Dallin Hayden just running over everybody on there. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. To see what these guys can do. The Colorado receivers, yes, we're going to be damn fast. We're going to be darn fast. Now, does Nebraska have the corners to cover us? I forgot what Cameron Parker said when I had him on, what he was thinking about the secondary. But the defensive line, I think that's going to be their strength. They did cause quite a havoc, but Shedeur was able to pull off some amazing throws last year. I'm excited about this game. I got to go, of course, Mike. I got to go with CU in a Nebraska matchup, but I do think it's going to be quite more competitive this year than what we saw last year. Ooh, this is an interesting idea here. And again, thank you, Mike, for the generosity. Really does mean a lot. Iron Water Guy. I would love to see an all-star HBCU team go against CU. Only Coach Prime can make it happen. That would be cool. That would be cool. I would love to see, honestly, a Jackson State versus a CU game at some point. I just don't know if it will ever happen. It seems like Jackson State fans are pretty split whether they would want some association with this program here. I don't really know, but maybe another program. How about FAMU? We have a lot of connections there now, and I think that would be really cool to see us take on FAMU in one of our matchups. Now, ideally, one thing that I've always appreciated about Colorado is that we have scheduled, I thought, some pretty competitive non-conference schedules throughout the year where we've had multiple Power 5 opponents and all this stuff, in addition to CSU, whatever. Pretty uncommon compared to some other schools like SEC schools, that they will schedule that FCS matchup there in November. They'll have a few cakewalks there in the non-conference schedules or weeks of 1 through 3. Colorado hasn't really been like that, but I do like the fact that right now we got an FCS opponent. We got Colorado State again, and definitely our toughest matchup in the non-conference slate is going to be Nebraska by far. I think that we're going to deal with CSU very convincingly, and I do feel that same way about North Dakota State. As much as people want to meme us about North Dakota State, the Buffalo will take down the Bison. Grambling State. Interesting. And they got a new coach. Did they fire, what's his name? The guy who coached the Browns? Was he at Grambling? I'm trying to remember his name. But Mike saying Nebraska's weakest room and youngest room is the cornerback room. Well, I'll just pray the football guys that we can block number 0, Hutchmacher, whatever his name is, and that other big guy. I mean, y'all got some big corn-fed guys up front. Thankfully, we got some beef up front on our end as well. But I think it's probably going to be a high-scoring game. That's going to be my what I'm anticipating this year. And I think our biggest question mark still, even though I feel much better about it, is still that defensive interior line, seeing what we can do. Hopefully you guys don't run all over us this game. Yeah, I think we're better equipped to deal with the run than we did last time. We'll just have to see. Man, I'm going to have to put some money on Colorado. I haven't put any bets in yet for this year. I'm going to have to, though. Hopefully that line's still at like 4.5, 5.5. Lawrence, what's going on, man? What is going on? Hugh Jackson. Yes, he was fired. Thank you for reminding me. And, man, I'm trying to think, man, if there's anything interesting going on with Michigan right now. I saw that Quinn Ewers still referred to them as the team up north, which I thought was pretty funny. But, yeah, overall, man, I'm just so ready for July to end. I'm ready to just watch football. Like, I'm ready to do the post games, to do the previews. I'm ready for Julian Lewis to just commit already so we can see who we focus our attention on next. Getting those official visits lined up for this coming fall season. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Still trying to figure out if I'm going to, what games I'm going to be able to attend. One I still have my eyes on is that Texas Tech matchup in Lubbock. I think that would be a really fun environment to be at and get some tortillas thrown at us. Coach Prime is getting the players their own NILs through commercials. Leave Coach Prime's pockets alone. Remember, the man had numerous surgeries. Thank you, Thea Dumas, a.k.a. PT, for your comment. Yeah, I think it is actually illegal for him to give players money. Like, I think that's definitely illegal. But like I spoke about earlier, I mean, Cash Cleveland, talking to our friend Chico about that, just having all sorts of fun opportunities. That's what I like about this. We saw it with Yeoman's commercial last year with Charlie Offerdahl. Scholarship guys and non-scholarship guys are getting opportunities, all sorts of things, and the collectives are continuing to grow as well. So yes, you gotta love what's going on here. Coach Prime is absolutely earned and deserved this discretionary bonus. And from my understanding, this isn't in the contract, and so it's just doing good. Uh, it's doing good for what Coach Prime has gone, in my opinion, above and beyond in, and that's why, and similar to my friend Raw, we're going to be getting together on Monday. It's why Coach Prime deserves, passed with flying colors last year with what he needed to accomplish last year. Eric Morris, good to see you. Hope things are going well. About 6 weeks away from being officially official. Are you talking about the football season? We're about 6 weeks away. Man, I'm so ready for it, man. So ready for it. Mike Glover coming in here saying, I'd love to get him that $14 million by 7, equaling $98 million plus a percentage of the merch and the gate, taking him up to 14.9 to 15.25 million. That would be a cap or a height of 106.75 million spread over 7 years. I love it. I love it. Again, I don't understand, the university financials or anything like that, but with how much you hear about how much the program has made, that's profited, the economic impact, I don't see why we can't offer him a contract this way, especially if we're going to be playing in some of these bowl games, all of that. Oh, sorry, David. You will have to fill me in on it. But what bonus did Coach Prime get? Tisted? No, I'm just playing. Today, Buffalo's Wire reported, Jack Carlough reported, along with USA Today, that on December 1st, AD Rick George and Phil DeStefano approved a discretionary bonus of $250,000 to be paid to Coach Prime just for, let me make sure I get the quote right, in appreciation of the national recognition he brought CU. This something that I think that was just done out of like appreciation. Well, like it said, just thanking him for going above and beyond this past year, and it was something that wasn't in a direct incentive, like actually written in the contract. He's got a few other of those based on bowl game appearances. If you win a national championship, I'm sure there's one if he wins a conference championship here at some point, all of that. This wasn't anything that was in the contract, but CU wanted to do good by him and say thank you. And I love to hear that. That's why I feel like there's a lot of good vibes going on between this partnership, between Coach Prime and CU. I've never wanted CU to come across as if they're taking Coach Prime for granted. That's why I've wanted them to start working on a contract extension earlier than maybe other schools would. Again, that was one of the things that I feel like brought CU down in the past, was just saying, hey, guys are going to want to come play for the program, regardless of what else is going on or who's the coach. No, that's not how today works. We need to appreciate what is going on here and not take it for granted. And that's what I love to see about this piece of news coming out today, is that CU is doing that. They're doing what I've hoped, is that they're showing Coach Prime, hey, we're not taking you for granted. We're appreciative of what you're doing, even if, what he had in the contract in terms of economic impact and, out of state applications and all of that isn't in the contract. They're still rewarding him for making that sort of impact on the university, which I think is really sweet. So I love to see that. I'm baffled why the top corners aren't lining up to play at CU. I mean, there's a lot of great programs these corners could go and play at, but yeah, hopefully we're able to get another top corner this year. We'll have to see. I'm excited about Alex Graham coming out here. He was a 4-star rated player, if I remember correctly, until he committed to CU, and you know how that is. But yeah, I think if as long as we see an improvement from the defense this year, and I think Travis Hunter getting drafted top 5 or top 3 or wherever he's going to go, I think that's really going to help recruiting as well. But yeah, it was nice to see guys like Colton Hood, Preston Hodge. I feel like was one of the most sought after corners in the portal this year. So I would count him as a top portal. But yeah, who's going to be that next 5-star plus DB to commit here? We'll just have to see. I don't even know their names. I would love to see Travis Hunter win the Heisman. Oh man, it's hard for me to decide like who I would prefer between Travis and Shador to win the Heisman. I think though, because of how unique of a player Travis Hunter is, I think he probably has slightly better odds. I'll need to look at the sports books to see what their betting odds are, but I think that as long as Travis Hunter stays healthy, I think he's going to be in that consideration. I think if maybe we had won 6 games last year and he had played all throughout the season, you might have seen him in that finalist conversation. That's, man, wouldn't it be so cool if we had 2 guys in the Heisman finalists? I know that that will take a lot of, winning games and probably by some significant margins, but anything's possible. Anything's possible. TCU went to the national championship just a few years ago when they had very low expectations. Anything is possible. No, I got to completely disagree with you on this, Lawrence, with a U. Aaron Noland is not. Aaron Noland is not better than Julian Lewis. If Aaron Noland was him, why is Ohio State bringing in a slightly above average quarterback, in my opinion, in the transfer portal start over him? Eric, if 250K was just an appreciation for Coach Prime, what would happen if Coach Prime? What would happen if Coach Prime brings the Natty to Boulder? Yeah, right now I think it's in his contract that he gets $750,000 if he wins a national championship. But you got to imagine there's going to be more, along with a hefty contract extension. Because at that point, when you're winning like that, there's no point to be, there's no point to be looking around for other gigs. I'm so glad that a lot of these talking points are starting to die down. Coach Prime can't recruit. Coach Prime can't hire coaches. Coach Prime can't do this or that. A lot of that's going to be put to bed when Julian Lewis commits here. But yeah, Aaron Noland, man, if he was him, you would have seen Ohio State just roll with him. Cam Duncan, good to see you. They're waiting for CU to start winning. When CU starts winning, everyone will be lining up to go to CU. Yes, and it starts with Julian Lewis. You have that, then you start winning some games. Boom, baby. Then you get a top 10 class. Wouldn't that be great? I think if we win a lot of games this year and we get that Julian Lewis flip before the season starts, we're definitely in consideration to get a top 10 class. Wouldn't that be awesome? What are we at right now? Like 22, 23, 21? Overall, something like that. I think that's totally realistic. Now, high school, I don't know, because I don't know if we'll ever be bringing in a ton of high school guys, but my hope is that we just bring in like 15 this year. It'd be awesome. Don't give a damn. You're absolutely right. We'll win more than 4 games this year, and I think you just want to see another improvement, another jump this year. I think I got them at 8 games right now. Which is doubling their win total from last year. If they take another 3-game jump, 7 games, I think that gets it done as well. But I think we will eclipse that. The IMG pipeline, yes, let's get some more guys from IMG as well. Again, having more wins to go with this, it's only going to work in our favor. I think when On3 came out and said that we have the NIL and collective package to match anything that Auburn was going to offer. I think that that kind of comment went way under people's or like radar, because that's been one of the talking points. Why would you want to come to CU when they can't pay you? Why do you want to come to CU when they can't afford to get top guys? I think there was a lot. I think that had a lot less to do with it rather than just wanting to see the progression of the rebuild, which I understand. There are a lot of proven programs that we're now competing with for really good prospects, and we're starting to win more of those battles as time goes on. And again, it's no shocker to me that we have collective money to compete with some of these other schools on now. Like, I love it. Now it's just about getting those wins, which are going to come. Barstool CSU just posted on Instagram mocking CU and using Shador's rap song, man, CU Brett to break hell on those rims. Yeah, about perfect timing and whatnot. You know, when you're putting out rap songs, they're going to be used for the wins, and then they're going to be used by the opponents for the losses, and they're going to be used by the opponents for trash talking leading up to the games and all that. It's just what makes football fun, you know. Makes it entertaining, that's for sure. I'm sure you guys have your bookmarks saved. I got a ton as well, especially for the Julian Lewis stuff. I got a few saved for that, so it's going to be a lot of fun. And yeah, we're going to be ready for CSU this year. We're not going to be letting them stay in the game, I don't think. I just want to see disciplined football, and I'm glad that we can kind of move on from this CSU Rocky Mountain thing for a little while. I think it needs a break, to be quite honest. Dave, I would like to hear your thoughts on what's happening with to Cormani of Florida. Personally, I think it's sad. He's wasting his future away. Hey, yeah, I know that we saw, what's the name of that Twitter account? Polk Way, you know, talking about how he's been removed from the team or disciplined. Coaches have come out and said that's not true. I don't know. But it has been reported, I think, by the 24/7 part of the University of Florida coverage that, you know, he's been late to meetings and disciplined. Hey, it's just unfortunate, man. Can't say I'm surprised at all, but yeah, you know, it's just unfortunate, and I think it does just prove the program right that, hey, um, at some point there is a breaking point to some of these guys. I think, again, uh, you know, I have a friend that covers Ohio State for 11 Warriors, and you know, according to him, there was a hell no, absolutely not, you know, interest in Cormani McClain coming out of high school, and then again as he jumped into the portal, and I think a lot of it was for my understanding was for a lot of these reasons, and that reputation does have some substance to it. So it's just unfortunate. Hopefully he's able to turn it around, but I haven't really done a video on it just because it's just not really important news to me with him not being a Buff. We'll see what happens though. Hey, Fanatic Sports Coach, I'm gonna have to check this out. What's good, Dave? I did a Buffs preview on my channel. Hope I did you proud. Yes, I'll need to go check that out, Coach I. Y'all subscribe to the Fanatic. They had me on just a couple weeks ago. That was great. And hopefully, you know, at minimum, man, you got us going to that bowl game. I've been pissed to see that I think we're still tied into the stupid Pac-12 bowls. I don't care about that. If we're not making the college football playoff, the bowl that I want to be in, if it's not a New Year's Six, well, all the New Year's Six are now in the playoff games now, right? Put us in the Pop-Tarts Bowl. We're in the Big 12 now. We should be eligible for the Pop-Tarts Bowl. I think that would just be a lot of fun. Imagine all the cool cross promotion that could happen with Pop-Tarts, Coach Prime, our players. Maybe we could get a custom Pop-Tarts flavor going on. That'd be a lot of fun. I don't want to play. I want to play in that one or the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl. Hey. I knew you were going to bring this up, Lawrence. No. I know. Yes, I like my quarterbacks to be 6'2" and taller. You're absolutely right. But two things. One, still time for a growth spurt, baby. But I said, hey, if they're 6'1", they better be elite. Julian Lewis is elite coming out of high school. There's difference than not to crap on some of our other quarterbacks, but we got some backup quarterbacks, that are 6'1", but they don't have that arm talent that Julian Lewis has. No. So I have said, Patrick Mahomes is 6'1". Patrick Mahomes is 6'1", and I have said, we'll take him. He's elite. He can make up for just being a little short because he's just that elite, right? Julian Lewis, he's in that same mold to me. He's got that elite arm talent. So that's why I'm cool with him just being a little short. But I will pray to the football gods for another growth spurt. Can we get him to 6'4"? That'd be ideal. Then he's going to be perfect. He's going to be unstoppable. Mike bringing up TJ Lateef like Colorado. Best bet. He knows he won't ever be starting in 2025. Interesting. Yeah, because he's still committed with Dylan Raiola there. It's going to be interesting to follow that because, yeah, he's committed to Nebraska, right? You think he will be better than Juju? Just saying. Hey, well, it all depends on how these guys develop once they get to the college ranks, right? You got your favorites once they enter in college, and I'm not saying anything earth-shattering, but I like Julian Lewis. I'm biased, though. He's Julian Lewis. Six recruits in the 25 class is not a flex at all. CU is in last place among the Big 12 schools in high school. I don't care about that, especially at this point in the season. I think what I care most about is the overall. And we've been just fine in high school recruiting, in my opinion, in terms of the quality. I don't know. I think the days of having 25 to 30 high school kids, and right now in today's transfer portal era, it's just not realistic anymore. And I think that's something that I was kind of shocked with, still, the amount of movement that we saw happen in the spring with the transfer portal. I was not expecting that much. Now, what I will say, don't give a damn, is where you could start seeing this change to fall back towards being more high school heavy is once college football kind of nails out what I assume here in a few years is to be more contractual obligations, to where it kind of limits transfer portal movement to an extent. I think that's when you could see it. But as long as it's just like AAU every year, you can kind of move freely and pick what team you want to be on from year to year. I don't think you'll see much of an emphasis on high school. And I think you should be looking at more of what the overall quality of the classes are with high school and transfer portal combined, rather than just high school. But there are a lot of benefits to recruiting high school, getting guys early in the program early, getting them in your culture, all of that. But there just isn't much to protect movement right now at this point. David, I get the feeling that Julian Lewis will wait until after the season to announce his commitment. Might be difficult to schedule, but it would be great if Juju can come to Boulder for game day. Hey, I love that. In terms of coming to Boulder, but I think that goes against a little bit of what he said. He said he's wanted to just get this out of the way before his senior season starts, and I think wherever he's going, let's say he stays with USC, or if he flips to Colorado, it's not in his advantage to put this off into the football season or at the end of his high school season, because you want to make sure that whatever program you're committed to has that momentum, one of your affirmed commitment, and then they're able to recruit off of that. I think it limits the upside of the amount of good talent that he can bring in alongside him in that 25 class. So I know he said he's wanted to get it out, get this thing done before his high school season starts, I'm going to hold him to that. I think it's best in CU uh, for their advantage, as well as uh, Julian Lewis, for them to just get it done. Yeah, I mean, he's with the team. We'll just have to see. We'll just have to see what happens. But I'm not overly invested in seeing what happens with Corma. I think a lot of people want him to fail from his time at CU. I, I just, it's just unfortunate. Who scores the first touchdown for CU, Dave? Ooh, very interesting. My hope is that it's just Dallin Hayden, baby. Just run the football. Wouldn't that be great? We struggled short yardage situations so often last year. We struggled in goal line. Remember how impossible it was for us to run the ball into the end zone in the red zone or inside the 5? Wouldn't that be great if we just march down the field, we get the ball in like the 4-yard line in North Dakota State territory, and then we can just hand the ball off, I formation, jumbo goal line set, big hole at the A gap. Oh yeah. Now you're getting me excited. Now you're getting me going. See, this is a great comment, Waterboy, because I have wanted to do a separate video on this at some point, but I think it's so hilarious that the Big Ten and the SEC are like posturing themselves away from FSU and Clemson because they've shown that they've been terrible conference partners with the ACC. I have loved this. Now, if you're the Big 12, you absolutely have to try and make a play for them. Hopefully you can. I would love to have Clemson and Florida State in this conference. I don't care about the politics of it. I don't care if they're going to be if they're going to treat themselves like Texas has treated themselves in the Big 12 for so long. I don't care, man. I would love to see CU and FSU face off all the time. I think that would be fun. Patrick Mahomes is 6'2". Man, since when? I thought he was 6'1". Caleb Williams, 6'1". Maybe that's who I was thinking of. Top 10, you're saying top 10 high school class? I guess I'm the wrong fan, but I think we could have a top 10 class overall. Yeah, totally. We'll just have to see. I would welcome Winston Watkins back. I'm a forgiving guy. I understand that goes against what most fans want and what the program traditionally does with guys that decommit, but I don't care, man. I just want the talent. But Mike, this is what I'll say is that Juju could always just flip back to USC if let's just say we're 0-5. Right? If we lose to North Dakota State, he could always just flip back to USC. I don't think that's going to happen though. If Dallin Hayden is as good as he is in NCAA 25, CU is going to be impossible to stop. Oh, that's my hope. Could this video game just be right? Could it be right? I'm not totally into video games. I hope I can get, a PlayStation 5 at some point, but it's just not on my priority list right now. I was hoping to get one, but my priorities are just elsewhere right now. But I think it would be fun to play that video game every now and then. Nah, CL3 was a different thing. We be Peace Day from South Dallas. Let's go. Thank you. I love Dallas, by the way. Great city. And it's going to be interesting to see what SMU does in the ACC this year. I don't know if you're an SMU fan. You don't have a lot of SMU fans around, right? But Dallas, beautiful city. I love it. Nah, he visited out here too much to be like Charles Lester. I know you're just trolling me, though. All right, guys. Gonna get out of here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We got 244 people in here. Dang. Y'all be sure to smash that like on the way out. Subscribe if you haven't yet. I think we're almost to some sort of milestone. So thank you guys so much. Young kids, 24. That drama with CUFSU would be crazy. It would be great. It would be great if we can just get this done. Let's get this rivalry kick-started, baby. We've already had Deion Sanders throw some shade to FSU. We've had FSU people like what's that douchebag's name? Elliot Bud. Imagine having your first name being Bud. Anyways, he'd be throwing shade to Coach Prime, all of that. It'd be a lot of fun. But y'all have a wonderful Friday, wonderful weekend. I still have some film rooms on the docket that I got charted out, so maybe I'll do a Shador one tomorrow if there's no news. I still got more on his his game against Arizona, which was awesome. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Like and subscribe, all that fun stuff on the way out. Go Buffs!